probably 50 degrees. Outside, got my mind blown off of the trees. Windows down, feeling the breeze of that cold air. Living in the UT, yeah, we really out here. Ain't nobody recognizing, ain't nobody give a damn, really. Less I stunt on them silly in the streets. Pop willies, but I'm not really like that. I'm the type that's laid back. Space cruising right around the city with the seat back. Same Lincoln Town car, whipping with the paint scratch. Still pull your girl, even if you in the Maybach. Don't play that. I've been had the juice since way back. Everybody searching for truth, so just say that. In the booth, right in my room, could take a quick nap. When I say I sleep in the booth, I really meant that. I remember we was getting kicked out every kickback. It's funny cause I barely go out, now I just kick back.
Don't tell me how to live my life, cause I'ma live it, living how I'm living. Gotta work for everything in this life, cause nothing is a given, nothing is a given. Yeah, you gotta get to it, been knew it, gotta grind me cause I can't lose it. Not stupid, you can feel it up in my music. Live through it, never fading away, never fading away.
I just dropped a G on some stocks that I like. Sent some money to my mama, but we living alright. School wasn't for me, telling me what to think. I'd rather invest in other things than a college degree. Like appreciating assets, but I ain't got a bag yet. Still stacking bread like, what the hell a bag get? They sour with the dough. See them hedge funds sorting, they don't wanna see me spending cheese all up on my shoulder. Make my money work for me, retire before 40. By the time I pass away, my music gon' speak for me. I just picked it back up from the OGs before me. Something like Mike passing the torch to young Kobe. Yeah, we can't fake it. Came up and then we ran with it. It ain't overnight, alright. That mean we plan different, working every night, getting bright during the pandemic. Jigs up, they dug in my work like it was damn.
Don't tell me how to live my life, cause I'ma live it, living how I'm living. Gotta work for everything in this life, cause nothing is a given, nothing is a given. Yeah, you gotta get to it, been knew it, gotta grind me cause I can't lose it. Not stupid, you can feel it up in my music. Live through it, never fading away, never fading away.
It's called T and 4 to 3. You take it away. Yeah, that's right. Probably 50 degrees. Outside, got my mind blown off of the trees. Windows down, feeling the breeze of that cold air. Living in the UT, yeah, we really out here. Ain't nobody recognizing, ain't nobody give a damn, really. Less I stunt on them silly in the streets. Pop willies, but I'm not really like that. I'm the type that's laid back. Space cruising right around the city with the seat back. Same Lincoln Town car, whipping with the paint scratch. Still pull your girl, even if you in the Maybach. Don't play that. I've been had the juice since way back. Everybody searching for truth, so just say that. In the booth, right in my room, could take a quick nap. When I say I sleep in the booth, I really meant that. I remember we was getting kicked out every kickback. It's funny cause I barely go out, now I just kick
Don't
back.
Don't tell me how to live my life, cause I'ma live it, living how I'm living. Gotta work for everything in this life, cause nothing is a given, nothing is a given. Yeah, you gotta get to it, been knew it, gotta grind me cause I can't lose it. Not stupid, you can feel it up in my music. Live through it, never fading away, never fading away.
I just dropped a G on some stocks that I like. Sent some money to my mama, but we living alright. School wasn't for me, telling me what to think. I'd rather invest in other things than a college degree. Like appreciating assets, but I ain't got a bag yet. Still stacking bread like, what the hell a bag get? They sour with the dough. See them hedge funds shorting, they don't wanna see me spending cheese all up on my shoulders. Make my money work for me, retire before 40. By the time I pass away, my music gon' speak for me. I just picked it back up from the OGs before me. Something like Mike passing the torch to young Kobe. Yeah, we can't fake it. Came up and then we ran with it. It ain't overnight, alright. That mean we plan different, working every night, getting bright. During the pandemic, jigs up, they ducking my work like it was damn.
Don't tell me how to live my life, cause I'ma live it, living how I'm living. Gotta work for everything in this life, cause nothing is a given, nothing is a given. Yeah, you gotta get to it, been knew it, gotta grind because I can't lose it. Not stupid, you can feel it up in my music. Live through it, never fading away, never fading away.
It's called T. And for the 3, you take it away. Yeah, that's right.
Yo, you're on mute, Deuce. I think you're on mute.
Get right.
Bam, there it
go.
is.
Let's
What's
go.
good, man? What's good?
What's good, Deuce? What's good?
We in here.
Let's go.
Here. I felt like it's been a long week, man.
It's been, but now, yeah. This week definitely feel like a little longer.
I feel like the week dragging. Anyways, man, if y'all tapping into this, like, subscribe, share, anything of the 3, especially all 3, helps us get knocked up on that algorithm. Make sure, we get out there, we getting more conversation pieces in here. So welcome, y'all.
Yep.
How's it going, Vita?
Good, Deuce. Hey, if y'all ain't with it, y'all with us. We need 80 I need 80 people. I'm begging you, Joe Biden. I need 80 people to sub. 80 people to sub so that we can get to 200 before 4th of July. So Soi Serena has to play The Walking Dead. If we don't make it, they're not gonna play it, and we got to see them play it. So y'all do that, do the like, do the comment, sub, and then come back and do all of that.
All of that.
Share it with somebody.
All of that.
Do that. Let's go.
Well, it's only me and you today. Paula's getting his grind on. He's out there making his money, man. Shout out to Paula. He been coming up on a lot of blessings lately. But that means we don't have this or that. But it does mean, go ahead and introduce it to the new segment.
Yeah, we got 10 Toes Trivia. We'll be doing a thing called 10 Toes Trivia from now until the 4th of July. We will be having 10 Toes Trivia. The only Deuce, he's going to be giving us these questions that only he knows answers to. His random stat. He's our guy. So he brings us questions that we answer them and we see who's going to get them right. And this week didn't go well for a lot of us. so it didn't go well for a lot of us. So we're going to share those questions with y'all and we'll see if y'all know the answers. You have the questions, Deuce, right?
I'm actually I got Deuce's face reading them out to everybody. And then I'm gonna throw a visual of the text right next to it. So y'all can see Deuce's face, you know what I'm saying? So you're not just seeing us. And then
he would be on more too, but again, we let everybody handles your responsibilities. Do what you gotta do. And it's one of those seasons for him. So let's get it, man. I'm excited to see who can get some right with 10 Toes Trivia.
All right, cool. I'm gonna play the first question.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy TTE TALKS coming to y'all with this 10 Toes Trivia on week 1.
It's a little quiet, so I might need to turn that thing up a little bit. We're gonna restart that.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy TTE TALKS coming to y'all with this 10 Toes Trivia on week 1. Let's get it.
It was kind of quiet in the video.
Leave the answers in the comments below.
We'll get them to be.
I got the text though.
He's
got the text. We'll work that out.
Declaration of love, jeering, declaration of war, or sign of friendship.
All right, so the first question in 10 Toes Trivia is, in ancient Greece, what does throwing an apple mean? 1, a declaration of love, or A, declaration of love. B, jeering or heckling, because I didn't know what jeering was, so I had to ask him.
Yeah, I thought, remember, we did this FaceTime, y'all, before y'all see it, and I thought he said cheering. So I was like, oh, nah. I thought he said cheering.
Yeah, I was like, hey, man, what is jeering, dog? What does that mean?
Yeah, I was glad you asked, because I didn't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, I had to ask. C, a declaration of war, or D, a sign of friendship. We're not gonna tell y'all the answers until next week, but we want to introduce y'all to the question, and then we'll see who's gonna do their research or not. We're gonna be keeping score. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
For those interactive.
I said jeering. I said B, jeering, because it's like a comedy show. Like you like boo you, boo you.
Throw an apple up.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah, so that's what I thought it was.
I thought
that was my answer.
I said it was a declaration of love just because, I mean, it's Greece. You know, they do some weird things out there. So I just went with the most off-putting one that I could think of.
It is weird out there.
Tua in the chat, I think he said declaration of war. He said it was a declaration of war.
You got to fight behind that. You're not going to throw no apple at me.
Yeah, no.
You got to fight behind that.
It better be a delicious apple if you're throwing it at me. That's question number 1. Let it sit there. We're going to move on to question number 2. He is a little bit quieter in his videos, but we're going to let it rock. Again, I got the text for y'all. Here going to question number 2.
Question number 2. What is the California state bird? The California quail, songbird, Anna's hummingbird, or blue jay?
All right. The question was, what is the California state bird? California quail, songbird, Anna's hummingbird, or blue jay?
I said the hummingbird.
Audio is good? All right, cool.
I said the hummingbird.
I'm from California, and I expected like seagull or something. So when you didn't say seagull, it caught me off guard. I went with blue jay.
I went with hummingbird.
Yeah.
So
you remember which one Tua said? I think Tua said hummingbird too. I know he didn't get this right.
Yeah, I think he said hummingbird. I probably overthought this one.
I mean, the connection was a little bad, so he cut out when he said some of the answers. So I was like, I'm just gonna go with the one I heard the most clear, which was hummingbird or blue jay. I said blue jay. So that's question number 2 for 10 Toes Trivia. I'm going to question number 3.
Question number 3. If you received a baker's dozen of biscuits, how many biscuits did you actually receive? 12, 11, 15, or 13?
All right, so the question number 3 is, if you received a baker's dozen of biscuits, how many biscuits did you receive?
I went with D, 13. I went with D, 13. Because when I saw the biscuits, I was like, this can't be 12. This can't be 12. Like, if he would have just said baker's dozen, then I probably would have been confused. But I went 13, D.
I also went 13. Got some bakers in my family, you know what I'm saying? So I had a little bit of an idea. But what did Tua said 12, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, forget this question.
Y'all are in the chat, y'all know how he felt about this question. So Tua said 12. If you receive a baker's dozen of biscuits, how many biscuits did you receive and were they delicious? So answers next week. Here goes question number 4 of 5. There's 5 questions altogether, y'all.
4. What does that angel share mean when you're distilling alcohol? The residue left over, the portion that evaporated, the discarded alcohol, or the alcohol that was sampled?
I'm gonna be real with this one. That's question number 5. So question number 4, right here. I'm gonna be real with this one, man. I didn't know this one.
I ain't know this one at all.
I didn't know this one. So
I
this
didn't know
one
this one at all.
was, what does the angel share mean when you're distilling alcohol? I don't even know if I typed the question right, but it's there. So A, the residue left over. B, portion that's evaporated. C, the discarded alcohol. Or D, the alcohol that was sampled.
I said D, the alcohol that was sampled.
I don't even
I feel
remember
like-
which one I said.
I just felt like it was angel share, like being generous, like handing them out.
The name share on there, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know what I said, but I'll tell y'all next week because I know I got it wrong. If I tell y'all my guess, it's, elimination. Process of elimination. All right, the last question for 10 Toast Trivia from the one and only Deuce. Right here.
And then question number 5, how many cranial nerves do we have? 8, 10, 12, or 14? Leave your answers in the comment section below. Let me know what's up. 10 toes.
Bam. How many cranial nerves do we have? A, 8, B, 10, C, 12, or D, 14? How many cranial nerves do we have? I don't know the answer to this one either.
I didn't know. I don't even remember what I answered. I just knew I wasn't probably gonna get it right.
I think I said 14 on this one. I ain't gonna tell y'all if I got it right or not, but I said 14 on this one.
I don't know which. I didn't know what it was.
Those
I didn't know what it
doctors
was.
and medical people out there that's watching this, that know the answer to this, Air 5 to you, because I got this wrong. All right, y'all. That's the first iteration of 10 Toes Trivia. Like you just said, we're going to be taking this into July, right?
Yep, 4th of July.
We're going to be taking this into the 4th of July. We're going to try to keep track of the right answers. We'll start getting them jotted down next week in next week's episode once we reveal the answers. And we might go have some for y'all if you're participating with us.
Yep.
Bang, bang, bang.
Definitely.
Bang, bang. All right, man. What's the next topic? Vita, it's on you.
So, I mean, dude, what's happening? What's going on? Anything taking place within the course of the week that we should probably recap, review, go over? You like to share personally, globally, however?
What's happening?
Anything?
What's happening? I don't know. Not really that I could recall. Nothing that stands out to me. I mean, I should probably pay attention a little bit more to the smaller things that do pop up. But I don't know, man. What's happening with you? You got something you want to cover throughout the week?
Man. UNC KU game happened. And then KU won, which was crazy. KU won, so UNC lost, which means I lost again to another one of my friends. He's a Denver fan, and we lost to him in the Super Bowl. He's a KU fan. We lost to him this, so now it's just he's got 2 over me, and he's holding it over me. So there goes that. Yeah, there goes that. Man, the week's been getting a car fix is crazy. Like literally, like calling for car motors and stuff. We're trying to get our car fixed. That stuff's been crazy. The amount of prices, you kind of like, man, I feel like you're really trying to get me here. So yeah, that stuff has been wild throughout the course of the week. So
what else?
Besides that, yeah.
Oh, I finished watching Bleach finally. I finished every episode there is. I'm disappointed as hell because I didn't know it was the last 10 episodes that I was watching.
Okay.
But I watched it anyways. I'm excited for when they do renew that and bring the new seasons out. I know Mita and them was all excited because they said it's going to be uncensored. They already
I still haven't watched Bleach. I started it, but I be tapping out. I just be tapping out. I haven't kept up with. I'm probably like a couple episodes behind on Boruto. I'm probably like a couple but I know I know that they're in the filler season right now, so I just kind of tapped out on that. So,
Damn,
but my
bro,
new
it's
work
a
schedule,
full. Is it a
my new work,
full filler episode?
yeah, they're trying. They caught up to the manga, so when they when they catch up, they gotta do stuff to get ahead.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in a, I want to say it's a developmental stage too. We got to get to some stuff. He said he like towards the Naruto. He likes Itachi now. He still hates Sasuke. Yeah, too. If you once you're there with Sasuke, you're just there. It's just gonna be your passion forever. You're just there. You're there.
You just hate him forever. What was you saying about
Yeah.
your work schedule?
Yeah. Ever since I changed the work schedule, it changed up a lot of my. Now that I got this been here for like a month and a half now in this new schedule, it took away like a lot of my normal reading, watching time, especially because I would always have my stuff up at like my phone up at the machine, watching certain things or looking at things. And now that I'm doing a different job, I just kind of put like podcasts on or YouTube on and carry my stuff around. So I don't really watch things that I'm visually seeing. I'm just listening. So I haven't kept up with like a lot of sports guys who I would usually listen to. I don't watch their stuff on a daily because I just don't have the time.
I feel that.
So
I
that
feel that.
Oh, yeah.
Laker gear.
surprisingly enough, this is Cepha's jacket that he left here. And I figured,
sense.
why not put it on? Because, y'all, we need to leave LeBron James the hell alone. That's why.
Thank you.
Leave LeBron James the hell alone. Y'all know when I wear something, it's to support, especially on here, it's to support somebody, it's to support rock our own stuff, or there's a meaning behind it. Like when I wore the Sam Darnold jersey for the mock draft. There's a reason why I did that. The reason why I did this is because people need to leave LeBron alone.
Oh my
And
goodness.
they need to leave him alone. And also, I should always get responses like that. If somebody sees me with another team stuff on, they should be shocked because they know who I mess with. So it's not gonna bother me.
That's facts.
I'm not like Deuce. Deuce is like he can't touch anything else. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, that's the most hardcore person I've ever seen. He won't touch any other jersey, any other merch. He won't touch it.
Yeah. So I wore this because again, I was cleaning stuff out. I realized Cepha left it. So I was like, you know what? People need to leave LeBron alone. Like they need to leave this man alone. Like as a man who has accomplished everything that he has accomplished in the area that he's gonna accomplish it at and everything. And if the worst thing that people can do is continue to nitpick his career and just like can't wait for him to have any type of downfall, you're just like, man, you like it's like, yo, why are you so anxious for this man to fall short of this perfection standard? Like, what makes y'all wait like for that? Like, it shows to me a huger problem that we have just as a whole. Like, as a majority of society, when you can't wait for somebody to fail. That's a problem to me. That's a problem, especially with something like that.
One of my biggest things too, which is why I looked at the Will situation that we talked about last week as a realization of like this is consequence to your actions. I look at all the people that LeBron's a B word, LeBron's this, LeBron's that, and I'm just like, you would never say none of this to this man's face. You would never say any of this to a 6'8", 220-pound man that could probably mop you up. Now, aside from that, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's comments on LeBron James this week.
I didn't hear his. I just didn't want to. I was just played out on it.
I'm glad I did, because to me it continues to support, not just in sports, but in general, how the older generation continues to look at this upcoming generation, who is the future, whether we want to believe it or not. This younger generation is the future, or the generation in the now, continue to look at them and say, you're doing this wrong. You're doing this wrong. We did it this way, so you should do it that way. He was saying something about, goats don't dance. You're disrespecting the game. And I'm like,
stupid.
What?
Dumb. Yeah, dumb. So Cepha said he can't cap. He won't touch another team's jersey. He'll collect it, but he won't wear it. I got I'm not gonna lie. Most of the jerseys that y'all see me ever grab, I still probably haven't worn most of them. But I just don't care no more. I'm gonna wear them. Mainly because I just don't go nowhere till I want to wear them. So that, but yeah, I'm just so tired of in certain situations. Again, specifically to LeBron, just like leave the man alone, bro. Like there's so many other things to talk about. Y'all constantly fixate your mind upon him, which only makes me think that this person is pointing something out in you that you need to change. When one person consumes so much of your time and so much of your attention, like I can't do that.
Mike's LA
You
jersey.
said, you see, I got the Cam Patriots jersey. I got that for $24. I
Yeah,
waited.
man, I don't really understand how they go out of their way. It's like they're waiting for this man to fail. They're waiting for him to do something wrong, right? Now, the comparison that I make is I look back and when Deshaun Watson first came out of college, he was put on this pedestal to be this perfect dude, amazing competitor. We all make mistakes. It is what it is. We all know the Deshaun Watson situation. If you don't, go look it up. We're not going to get into it. But as soon as he failed, they went immediately from one thing straight to the next. Like,
Yep.
Nope. Everything we said before, pretend we didn't say it. He's not that. And it's like they're waiting for a moment for LeBron James to be able to knock him off that pedestal and say, hey, LeBron, the dude who's with his high school sweetheart, has 3 kids. You know, they're making it through, you know, his 2 sons are making it through the ranks of high school basketball. He's bringing his high school friends from his basketball team, putting them in a position to succeed and letting them succeed as a part of his entity.
Yep.
Playing the game of basketball, which is like second, third, or fourth on this list of things I just said, at such a high level. But yet here we are waiting for this dude to mess up.
Yep.
That's crazy to me. We're gonna really miss Bron once he hangs it up. Oh,
and they're like, people will miss LeBron once he's gone. And you know for a fact, like these analysts and these journalists and these writers, they have to go from big name to big name because they need something to write about like that. And it looks dumb. It looks dumb when you make a observation about a person early and then they make a mistake and you're like, well, take away everything I said. Well, you're not a good journalist if you can't get it right from the jump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person. I hate reactionary people. I hate somebody who always like has to react to something. I want you to like, if you're gonna like be prepared, be ahead of the situation, and then be knowing. But if it's like, oh, well, this person does this, oh, I don't like them. Oh, wait, they did this, well, I liked them. Like you're tossing with the sea. Wherever the sea takes you, that's where you're gonna go. Wherever the crowd takes you, that's where you're gonna go. And that's definitely not the crowd that I like to be around. It even made me feel like today, like, man, I wish I could get more into baseball so then I could get away from all of this offseason NBA, NFL mess that we constantly see 24/7. Because then I could just be engaged in another sport while this one's down. Or even in soccer. Because this stuff is like, it's ridiculous the way they're like, yo, just let them play basketball and then move on. And leave and stop anticipating people to fail because people is crabs in a barrel. They love to see somebody fail.
Yeah. I mean, I think the real similar situation I look at is we can look at certain phases in LeBron's career that he's gone through. I look at Kobe's career the same way. We all looked at Kobe's career when he did fall and stumble. Everyone was quick to pull the trigger on him, but then after that, it was like, well, damn, he came back from his adversity. Now let's just critique him on everything else. Like, come on, man. Now that he's gone, aside from his death, when he retired, man, we miss Kobe. Man, we wish Kobe was in this game. They're gonna be saying that 4 or 5 years from now when LeBron retires. It's like, come on, man.
Yep.
Leave that man alone.
They will. And again, it's just especially like the man has done everything to a standard where he's lifted and raised people up constantly around him for his own community, for himself, for his family, and everything. Like, y'all, that should be it. Like, that should be enough. Y'all should just let him be as it is and go on about your day. So on that end, I'm like, people, when I've I make sure not to have certain conversations with those people who I know stand in that crowd of thought. To be like, you know what, I know you have this view. I'm not gonna waste my time.
Yeah, definitely pick and choosing your battles, man. Well,
Yeah.
something else that's part of, we call it the debatables in TTESPN. We probably gonna stick with that same thing here, but one of the quotes I threw in there, one of the pieces of thoughts to throw in there was knowing your limits and when to push your limits. A very loaded quote and loaded question. But what are your thoughts when that first is said? Is knowing your limits and when to push your limits, whatever aspect of whatever first comes to your mind.
It has to be a finish line. There has to be a finish line. You have to have an exact. This needs to be accomplished for the job to be done. Like this has to. There is a. That's why when like specifically when I know when I ask for goals, I need specific details because I need you to know a vision of what you require of yourself. You need to know what it looks like when that is fulfilled. So then you know what exactly you need to give up or get more invested into to see that realization become fulfilled and that to be done. And then from there, you should know your limits and know when to push your limits. And in that, again, I look at it as a game. There's going to be some things you have to do differently in each season and time, but you have to have a detailed, this will not be a success until I see this exact thing. So in the case of sports, it's always going to be, to me, your season is not a success unless you win the championship. That's it. Once that season is concluded, that season is done. Everybody resets. The goal is reset. Whoever is it, there's second place is not successful to me. Third place is not successful to me. It is only whoever wins. Now, within that, you can have context and all that, but that is how I view it. The end goal is you win, you won, that's successful. Now, on your individual part of knowing your limits and when to push them, for me, it becomes you have to visibly, because a lot of people put their visions in their head, but then they don't put it on paper so that then they know. So then they're always changing and adjusting what it's supposed to look like. They don't actually say, this in detail is what is supposed to come to fruition. This is what's supposed to be the actual dream. I need to get to this point right here. And then when you do that, I think the next thing you have to do is you have to have trusted people around you who also see that vision for you. So they know how they can assist you in that and they can be accountable in that. Because if the people feel like it's unrealistic, or when you find people who are as committed to you as you are to yourself, then no dream that you would give them will be unrealistic. Everything will be achievable because nobody who truly loves you is going to gaslight you to go do something you're not supposed to do. So when you say, hey, this is what I want to do, they should say, bet, I see that. Well, how are you going to do it? Okay, bet, well, this is what you need to do. Hey, I think you're slipping here. What's going on? And then they could check you. When you paint with a broad strokes on this, you'll never get to the detail of the picture that you're supposed to have. So you have to be able to, one, be honest with yourself and what the vision looks like. And then two, you need to have the accountability around it to also believes in what this picture is supposed to look like and can say, hey, I think you're doing this wrong. Hey, I think you need to be here. I think you need to do that. And that's how I think you know how to push your limits is somebody has to be there with you. Because I don't believe nothing is accomplished alone.
So one of the key things that stood out to me that you said there was having people that you trust in to be able to share that vision, to be able to hold you accountable to that. I think the question that I would almost ask to that is how does one find people they trust, right? Like one thing we always refer to is the episode on the Pivot podcast with Michael Beasley, how we talked about like, bro, I don't want to give nothing to nobody. No, yeah. I don't know how to. I don't trust nobody. I don't find nobody. How does one find people like that to be able to entrust the goal of, yo, here's my limit, but also that's my goal. Yeah. How can you hold me accountable to that limit and that goal to push through that? Because, like you said, when you got it in your head, it's easy to kind of take that marker and place it somewhere else along the way.
Yeah, because so first it has to go inside out. So once you have the vision from within your mind, to something tangible and you have a tangible goal from there, it's like building a house. All right, this is what I need my house to look like. I got to go get inspections and all this stuff for it. That person should be able to see the building you were trying to build and say, okay, I can see this, I can see that, I can see that. That person would have known what you was trying to build from the jump. When I look at it in building a house is you also don't pay the same person to usually do everything in your house.
Facts.
So I do believe along the line in your journey of getting to wherever you got to be, there will be seasonal people. There will be people who are only there for a certain amount of time. Reading my devotional this week, it was like all pain is meant to strengthen somebody else. As much as you go through something, it should help you to also benefit the next person also. So I believe there's seasons where people strengthen you, and then I believe there's seasons where people put a strain on you. And they are there to test your limits. And then that's when I think the people who put a strain on you, I believe they do one thing that they are supposed to do, and it's a reminder for you, is to know your boundaries and your limits, and to know where you are supposed to go with that. So if somebody comes into your life and you know you have one trusted person, I have plenty of them. So if you know if you have one trusted person, somebody comes into your life and you say, so the first person I go to about with everything is my wife. And I say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do that. There's been plenty of times when my wife says, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, you a hating, you is a hater. Like, ooh, bro, you be hating, bro. And then I'll go to my mentor or I'll go to do something like, hey, I'm kind of doing this, that, and the third. And then they'll be like, well, you ain't really do the other one. So what's the difference between this one? Or, well, yeah, I see that, but how does that really attribute to this? Or how does that attribute to that? And they'll start to go back to the foundation of the first blueprint and ask, am I being asked to readjust, to redo something? In those seasons where you have a person that comes along where they're straining, again, you got to know your boundaries. Like, you got to know what you're willing to invest to be like, yeah, I could do this, or yeah, I can't do that. And you also got to be able to double check yourself, be like, what even made, like, people will strain you because they're attracted to good things. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So when you're doing, so when you're doing something good, people come around. Like everybody comes around.
Oh yeah, everybody want to be a part of that.
Yeah, everybody wants to be a part of that, and we all want to be a part of that. Flock to that. Like even when you see from issues to issues, I think when you have that group of people who you know, even beyond when you're done doing what you're doing, they'll find a way to try to finish it. If you didn't make it to that end goal, I think that's one of the biggest things. If you aren't able to get there, and you're like Moses, and you have to sit on the mountain and see the promised land, but you can't go into it, there's somebody who should come up behind you and finish it. That's like I feel like the work is. You gotta have like somebody should be willing to believe in what you believed in so much they would want to see it through. That's how I feel through it.
Okay. I think that puts it a little bit. Hopefully that helps somebody out there that's struggling with something like that, right? Like know your limits, when to push it, and when to really find that, you know, that's somebody or that maybe it's a group of people. One big thing, like you said, is seasonal people. That's dope.
Yep.
I didn't even realize that until recently.
No, it really is seasonal people. And I think I believe without a doubt in my mind, there is seasonal people. There's seasonal people. And I believe they really do expose a part in you that needs to get rid of or to be shined upon them. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it really does suck when you have to go through the painful part of it, but it's always to strengthen the next person, to help the next person.
Facts.
So I believe at the end of the day, like you've seen numerous amount of stories where an architect might die before the building is finished, but somebody's so inspired by everything he went through to go through, he goes and finishes it.
They took the blueprint of it, and
they take the blueprint. Nipsey dies. Sam picks up what he's doing off, and he finishes it off. He finishes the job. Kobe passes away. LeBron and AD steps up, and they find a way to finish the job. Like when your work is truly meaningful and your passion is what it is, you would inspire somebody to finish and go continue to benefit somebody else. That's how I view that part.
That's 100. That's where we at, man. That's where we at. Before I get into the next quote or piece of conversation, was kind of a two-parter. You got one of them you want to throw in there?
Oh, you go ahead. Cool.
Well, this was kind of a two-parter, right? I threw a a status out there, my Facebook. Yeah, I'm old. I still use Facebook, so whatever. And they rubbed some people the wrong way. Some people took it, some people, it was a good amount of conversation around it. But the saying is transparency, or not transparent. The saying is the truth can never be said in disrespect. The truth can never be said in disrespect. Now, obviously, I ain't have no intention with it. I just wanted to get people's thoughts on it, where they stood with it, what their thoughts around it was. And I heard it from Whack 100 on one of the interviews that he had with I want to say Nori in the Game. Whack 100 said, yo, the truth can never be said in disrespect, because when you're saying the truth to somebody, regardless of the tone, regardless of your intention, the truth don't change. The truth is exactly that. It's 100% factual.
Yeah.
I wanted to get people's thoughts around it. What's your thoughts around truth can never be said?
So I know you said you caught flack behind it, and that's where you got it from. So what is your stance and belief behind the truth can never be said in disrespect?
So I look at it in two different views, right? I look at it in two different with two different hats on. One of them having absolutely nothing to do with feelings and just looking at it in a very analytical, very straightforward way on that side of my brain that says it's the truth until it's not the truth, right? Like if you look at something that's 100% factual, right? If we're gonna look at sports, because that's kind of what vibes with us the most. Sports. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the leading scorer in the NBA. Regardless of what tone you say it with, what disrespect you say it with, however you want to say that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a leading scorer in the NBA, does not change the absolute fact that he is currently the leading scorer in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right? The other example I used is somebody got a booger on their face. Regardless of the tone somebody tells you with, you got a booger on your face, it doesn't change the fact that you got a booger on your face.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Either I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Just gotta say it, right? The other part of me with, being mindful of somebody's feelings and all of that, right? Thinking about the social side of that is where the two-parter comes into play. It's like, how transparent, how much transparency is too much transparency?
Yeah.
Right? So for me, I vibe more with the analytical side that, like, look, you might feel disrespected on what the truth is and what the truth I'm telling you is, because it's factual. It's 100% proven. We've seen it. Doesn't change the fact that it's the truth. Feelings aside. And that's kind of the way I look at it. So I'm just like, you're going to tell me the truth, tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Tua said it's exactly true. Why would it be if the truth is the truth? No matter the tone or what, people mad that the truth is out. People be lying like a rug to get out of certain situations.
Yeah, so they're again, I believe that also. I don't believe a lot of people like to say, for those who speak the truth, like they're tone deaf or this and that. But again, it's just the facts. It just is what it is. Like I can't change that. And I feel like if the truth makes you feel some type of way, and at the end of the day, if I go, hey man, there's a booger on your face, it's like you said, and somebody be like, well, I can't believe they said that. There really is one on your face, no matter what tone I say it in. Like it really is on. And they're like, well, they shouldn't have said it like this. And when you have to add things on top of that, I think you can't accept it. You don't want to accept it. Nobody in this world would accept anybody like 100% the truth. Like when people be like, tell me the truth, like you don't really want to hear the truth. You want what's usually going to comfort you.
Right.
And
right.
that's when I'm like, that's what you want to. You want to be comforted. You want it to be pampered, or in this way, sent so forth. But like, I agree. I think as long as it is the truth, again, it can't be said. Like it really can't be said disrespectfully. Because again, for me to have to change the saying, I would have to then be like, well, yeah, you sure what? Nah, it's just the truth.
Yeah, like,
it's just the truth. Even when you get done in an argument, if somebody says something out of anger, if you are a person who is even killed, when you come down, you're gonna be like, well, what they said was right, but I didn't like this. or what they said was this, but I didn't. You start to add on, but again, at the end of the day, what was said was the right thing. Like it was true. That was not wrong, and
Right.
that's just what.
Right. And
So
I think the older I get, the more that becomes of like an absolute reality is, look, just give me the 100% truth, right? Like I started thinking about it, and I was talking to my wife about it, and she was a little bit on the other side just based on the conversation. But I told her, I was like, look, if I'm chilling with the homies and they're like, yo, dog, you like, man, you getting big, or like, yo, you getting a lot of weight. It's fact. But if I went to the doctor and the doctor told me that, same exact way, same exact conversation, I'm gonna process it different because it's coming from a doctor, right?
Yeah.
And the fact has never changed. It's just the fact that, like you said, in comfort is coming from a doctor who, all he knows is my vitals, what he's seen. I just weighed you 5 minutes ago, and hey man, you getting big. As opposed to the homies that have seen, like, at the beginning of where you were to where you are now, they see that. Like, they see that progression. It's all fact.
Yeah. But, no doubt. Again, I'm with you. I think, the truth is the truth. Even in situations where I've been in my life where I know somebody said something out of anger, I knew what they said was the truth, though, in a way, and I knew that it was said in anger. And, again, once you boil down and you process it, then you're like, okay, they did say that. And it's always, I just didn't like the way you said it, or I didn't like, well, okay, cool. But the content is what it is. You know what I'm saying? No matter how it was packaged. That's why you should be aware as much as possible of how you say things to certain people. But again, you know what I'm saying? So everybody has a different filter. Everybody has a different filter because I might be saying something nice and you just might be soft and just don't like it. So there's always going to be those people who feel that way.
Facts. Any of the topics on there you wanted to throw out there? Because I know you had some on there before.
Nah, I remember we talked about earlier. What decade would you be a part of? If you could go relive in any decade, what decade would you be a part of? Because of my wife, I am I got, not historically, but visually, I got into the 1920s. If you watched the movie, you ever watched The Great Gatsby?
Yeah.
Movie
That's
dope.
a good movie.
You know what? Let me not even say the movie dope. The atmosphere of the parties was dope.
That's true. That's true.
And not even like the kick it part, but like I love to dress up. I love the theatrics and how everybody was kicking it, the live music stuff. I know when me and my wife was planning our wedding, we went to the courthouse though. I know when me and my wife was planning our wedding, we wanted to do a 1920s theme, and we doubled back and said, you know what? We'll do it on our 10-year, which will be not this one, but 2 years from now. We're gonna aim to plan a 1920s anniversary big old party, where we'll be doing all the, I'm pretty much gonna try to re-imitate like the Great Gatsby movie, but like, man, it was just from the vehicles, to the light, like just the general liveliness of like seeing what the industry, like my work building, has been existing in Kansas City since like 1889.
Damn.
Like it preceded the 19th century, and they have a picture in there of like the first lunch that they had. So clearly, my building doesn't have a lot of updates. It doesn't have like real AC and stuff like that. It's like they're just, because it's such an old fashioned building, and I didn't know, but they actually get I guess it's called like a legacy grant or something, because they've been here for so long. They get like $100K a month just for still existing.
Oh,
around.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which is why I'm like, we can't get raises or we can't get lunch once a month. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all getting $100K a month and we can't get no raise?
Yeah, just for existing, just because it's a historical building and people know this building. So, yeah, damn. 1920s.
Hey, the 1920s, they got a real blue collar vibe to them. I think that's my favorite thing about it. Is like everything is very dapper. Is the word I keep thinking about. It's very, very dapper.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I said the 70s, man. I know we tried to stay away from like 80s. We went 90s or 80s and before. Yeah, was kind of the outline in our chat, man. But I gotta go with the 70s, man. I think to me that was just a time where it was just like we're in the middle, we're in the in between, right? The in between for us in our generation was like CDs to MP3 players.
Yep.
And that was a weird middle spot. But the middle spot for me in the 70s, man, I look at what is it? What the hell is it called? The Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead was huge at that time.
Yeah.
A lot of the throwback music for me, the 70s, really start to resonate. Got the Tina Turners, the Temptations are, towards the end of their thing. The Jacksons, the Isley Brothers. Man, that's all the stuff I grew up on. Rolling in the Toyota truck with my pops with the hard shell in the back, where you got to sit in the back and you ain't got no communication to the front because we didn't have the slide windows yet.
Yeah.
But man, to me, the 70s is what I vibe most with.
That's what's up. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in my commercial view from the movies, it's too much drugs for me. Even though it's funny, drugs, there's so much drugs. It's like think of like Dynamite and Foxy Brown, and I'm thinking stuff like that. I'm
Dynamite.
Yeah. It's like these people was out here. They was out here, man.
Crazy time,
So,
man. Especially if you think about that 70s show, 90% of the time they was sitting in a circle high.
Yeah, it's just like, and it looks so musty.
It do look musty though.
Yeah, it looked like that was like the era that was really somebody was like, I've had enough. I got to create deodorant, and then boom, hygiene became a thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah.
Damn, the 70s do look musty though.
Yeah, it looks extremely musty.
I guess I'm gonna be in the musty area. Damn, I'm roll with it. I gotta roll with it, man.
Yeah, a lot of free spirits. It seemed like, you know what I'm saying. That's just what it seemed like. It was them lava lamps and the furniture. Like, I think that was probably one of the most ugliest furnishing times in history. Like, the Home Channel would have a fit with some of those houses and decors that they chose.
So, obviously, this is one of those shorter episodes for y'all. Nothing too heavy. Wanted to keep it light today. But coming up, Vita said this last week, and we've been kind of reiterating that to y'all. Towards the end of the month, the last episode of every month, we're going to do a chat conversations. That's going to be one of those episodes where we want y'all to bring every topic to the table, whether you give that to us in the comments today, whether you throw that on our socials, you send it to us in the text message. If you got our numbers, you send it to our email. Our email is linked in the description. However y'all want to get the topics to us that y'all want to see us talk about in here, send it over. Yep. As heavy or as light as y'all want to be, it's kind of where we'll take it. I got some questions already from one of my wife's really good friends. Some great questions. I'll read some of them off just because we're not going to talk about it too deep. We ain't really going to answer them. Just to kind of give y'all a scope of some of the things that she threw out there. But the first one's around personalities. What is the best and worst aspect of your personality? Which I think is a great question. How much of your personality is genetic and how much of it is from the environment? That's a deep question.
No, that is. That's a great question.
Great question. How has your family shaped your personality and who you turned out to be? And then she got some if you want to go real deep into conversation. I mean, again, these will be, things that we revisit towards the end of the month. What is your life philosophy? And what are the foundations to create it? What were the foundations to create it? And then the other one, does your job affect your mental health? And are you playing the part in your current role, or can you be 100% you? So in your current role at your job, does it allow you to be 100% you? So, some great questions.
That's great stuff. Send it to us whatever way you can, any way you can connect with us. Like you said, throughout the time, if you have, drop it in the comments, drop it in the chat, send it to us on any of our socials, on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, however, and we'll get to it. The last Wednesday of every month, we will dedicate that to talking about whatever it is that y'all send our way. For all of us, again, we just always try to make this a safe space and a meeting of worldviews to where we can really be able to talk life with y'all, chop it up. So,
yep.
I'm excited for those.
That goes from gaming to, we try to keep, if y'all want to get into sports, we can get into a little bit of it. We ain't gonna get too much into sports into this though. We got a separate playlist for that, separate channel.
Yeah.
Life, y'all want to get into work, starting a business. We trying to do that ourselves. Whatever we have knowledge in, man, we're more than willing to chat about it, and y'all could put us on game with some stuff too. So,
Yep.
excited.
We'll get back to the brackets. Personally, just having a difficult time figuring out how to do this movie bracket from the first one.
It's a big one.
Yeah, because we try to do. We're really trying to figure this out. We might be making it tougher than it is, but again, we try to. What's up? What up? We're trying to really figure out, man, how to do the movie ones between horror movies and all that. And no lie, we might just have to break it down to smaller and just maybe do like 8 at a time on an episode and kind of see how that works out. Because like I said, I told you, I know Paula's big on horror, but I'm not.
Me neither.
So like, I'm not gonna like. He might be trying to sell me on something, and I don't even know what I'm really trying to watch. So
we gonna let the chat rock with that.
Yeah. So again, we're trying to figure that part out on the greatest movies, and even whatever bracket too. So yeah. Ooh, shoot, y'all. I've been getting up early, so we good to go.
Man, been grinding. Cool. All right, y'all. This brings us to the end. Any closing thoughts or closing remarks as we move into next week's episode?
Help us get to 200, y'all. I need Soi and Serena to play The Walking Dead so I can see how this go. I really got to see this. I really got to see this, y'all. So you can help us get 200. I got to see this. That was the bet I made with them, that if we can get to 200 subs by 4th of July, they will play the Telltale Walking Dead. So y'all, if y'all can help us do that, that'll be amazing. Thank y'all for coming with us, for kicking it with us all the time. You know, every Wednesday, we're going to be here, y'all. We're going to be here next week. We'll be back. Ready to go, y'all.
Next Wednesday, 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Tap in with us. Shout out to Sasarasa Gaming. Pop into him. He's a Fortnite pro. But we'll rock with y'all next week. Have a good night, y'all.
Oh, yeah.